Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Salama here. A few weeks ago or a few days ago, I uploaded a video ranking the worst films in 2024. I just want to say a disclaimer because few people commented questions which films I was referring to, and I just want to say that I include in these reviews only the film releases of 2024 because these videos are like a film diary to me because I watch a lot of films, and every year I revisit films that I ranked a year ago because my taste changes, and I just want to refresh my memory because I always go back to films. I'm following the news every day, and I think that it's so sad that people associate strength and power with money, and it has led to so much pain and horror in the world, and yet we still think that success is money, and it's not always the case. So I think in the critical situations as we are today, we need to find solace and meaning in art. My personal aspect of art is film and filmmaking, books as well, but I'm more competent in films as I watch a lot of films. So this channel is dedicated to films, and if I say some films are good and other films are bad, these are just words. We should all watch films, and this channel is dedicated to like open discussion. So I'm always open to other opinions. Actually, I'm interested in different opinions more than the similar opinions, and I think we should all create the world where differences are appreciated, because life is diverse and the world is diverse no matter what people say. Said that, a lot of people, I think, tell me they wish to hear more arguments in this video why I think some films are better than others, and I hear you. I will try to articulate myself more, but firstly, English is not my first language. It's not even my second language. It's my third language. So I'm not good in articulating myself in English, and I make videos in English because I want to appeal to a larger audience, because I think films are for everyone. And secondly, I am not the most rational person. When I watch something, I listen to my intuition and gut feeling. Some films feel right, and some films feel very wrong. And I know that it is very subjective opinion, but I like subjectivity, and I mean no harm. I support all filmmakers. So today I'm gonna talk about so-so films that I think are not very good and are not very bad. They are kind of one-time watch. The first film on my list is The Crossing. This is a film by Georgian filmmaker Levan Akin, and I highly recommend checking out his film. It's playing on Mubi currently. Firstly, why I was drawn to this film and I wanted to watch it ASAP, it's because it's set in Turkey, and I really appreciate the filmmaker for this decision, because there is a lot of Georgian diaspora in Turkey, but we don't see many Georgian films set in Turkey. So big applaud for that decision. The film is about transgender, LGBTQR, marginal groups, and also groups that are vulnerable in Georgia, even heterosexual people. I really love the attempt of filmmaker to show the vulnerable groups in Georgia and in Turkey, but the reason why I put this film in one-time watch and why I didn't put it in the best pictures is the way the cinematic choices that the filmmaker made. I love the potential of this film, and when I read the synopsis and the storyline, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a great film. But I was disappointed because a filmmaker puts the cinematic choices according to cliches. So what I mean is that Akin puts, for example, transgender community on the streets, in prostitute houses. I mean, in the places that we usually stereotypically think that these people will be. And the whole film is built by stereotypes and cliches more than a lived unique experience. And I have a problem with that, because when you build up cinema with cliches, because we are used to the stereotypes as cliches, and this is the repetition really is like a filter on your eyes, and it fails for us to see the real, genuine and authentic human beings experience. You know what I mean? That's the temptation of cliche. Cliche is not good or bad. The way we use cliches, actually, that's where the real strength or real weakness lies. And in Akin's defense, the potential, I mean, the intention is really good, but because of putting cliches in front of us, rather than think about how else could the story be told, we lose this authenticity, we lose the pain and glory of these human beings. This is where for example, filmmakers like Federico Fellini and Antonioni and Pasolini are really strong. It is because they say stories of marginal and vulnerable people in the most gentle and subtle ways. I would think about The Crossing in the same storylines as, for example, La Strada or Nights of Cabiria. This is the main thing why I think it's a one-time watch. For most of the films that I think is one-time watch, I have the counter example and alter ego, which I love and which I think is the masterpiece. For example, for The Crossing, it has the same potential as one of my favorite films that is about a transgender community and transgender person story. This is by Xavier Dolan, Lawrence Anyways. So if you put both of these films together, and I hate to compare films, but just to show you what I mean, I have to bring some examples when I have examples in my brain. Sometimes I don't have examples in my brain. But this is the film, Lawrence Anyways, which breaks the stereotypes and actually shows the journey authentically, really genuinely. And there are scenes where Xavier Dolan is so subtle. He's not so direct, and he's not so descriptive and forward as Akin. His story is more layered and more complex. That's what I have problem with Crossing, is that things are very superficial. The second film, and I should go faster because I have 11 films here. The second film is The Substance. A lot of people think that Substance is the best film of 2024, and it's Oscar nominated. It won a lot of awards, but for me, it's still like Akin's film. It is still constructed by cliche maker Coralie Fargeat. She uses this objectification of female bodies, and I don't have a problem with that, but she uses these scenes, like, for example, borderline pornographic gymnastic dance scenes, to underline the voyeuristic and male gaze objectification that is actually directed towards men, but and I understand why she uses it. I think she uses it for us to see, oh, the male gaze is so wrong, and I get what she does. She wants to build this grotesque caricature, satirical image of men looking at women, especially if we go to the scenes of Dennis Quaid, you know, this lobster scene. We all understand what she's doing, but again, it's so direct. The metaphor is so one-sided and so forward. I really like, you know, this direct and hidden techniques of filmmakers, because the thing is that filmmaking is not the art of showing, it's the art of hiding. Every transcendental film lies in indication. All the masterpieces that I know, they don't show you everything laid on the table. You have to imagine things yourself, you know. They might show you some shadow in the corner, but they open up your imagination rather than having everything laid on the table. And that's my problem with Substance. Substance is so predictable, and I like that it has this suspense and horror in first half of the film, but when it goes into these pornographic dance scenes of Margaret Qualley, I'm like, really? Coralie, we can do better. Why use the same technique of male gaze and male filmmaker directors who objectify and have been objectifying women's bodies for years and years? Why use the same technique? I mean, I know that the intention is feminist, but it is counterproductive, and in the end you just objectify women's bodies anyway, you know. So the technique is the same, and you don't fight cancer with cancer, you know what I mean. You fight hate with love. There should be something opposite. So that's how the world works. So fighting objectification with women's body, with objectifying women's body, I don't think it is productive. I understand why so many people find it attractive, because they see the intention. They see the intention, they see that the filmmaker is woman, so they give her more credit. But for me, it is not justified, because I judge film as a film, no matter who directed it. You know, for me, it doesn't matter the gender of filmmaker. Of course, it matters, but in a different way. When I watch a film, it's film. Doesn't matter who directed it. And this is a film that objectifies women's bodies. So I have, as a woman myself, I have kind of a witness in me that says it's still not okay. And another thing, what annoyed me is the ending, because it was just so graphic, and I love graphic content when it's justified and gained, but this grotesque and very graphic caricaturesque scene for me was not necessary. I knew that it would go there, but I think the ending could have saved this film, to be honest. The ending could have saved this film, but because where it was going in the end, it just went crazy. And when these type of films are good in the beginning and in the middle, and the end, I think Coralie went all the way on the predictable journey, and if she had some type of twist in the end, it would be much better. However, I should give the credit where it should be given. I think the casting really makes this film work, and that's why I don't think it's the worst film. I think it's a one-time watch film, because Demi Moore just saves this film, because she is the one actress who could pull this role off, and I think she really deserves all these awards that she's given to, because we have to understand that the films are not living in the equilibrium today. I think this role is so connected to the real diva and personality of Demi Moore that people are paying tribute to her more than this character. That is problematic, but I think that's another topic, the actors and their roles, that's another topic. But as a film, separate film that will exist in the world of films, in film history, I think it's still a weak film. Yeah, if we watch films of Agnès Varda or Louis Buñuel, there is still objectifying of women, but it's on a much more layered and complex level, which I find more tasteful. Okay, the third one-time watch is Love Lies Bleeding. I won't say a lot of films about this. I won't say as much about this film because I think it's really one-time watch. I think the cast is very weak, the story is very weak, everything is predictable. There is too much violence and too much graphic content that is really not gained and connected to the story. And I hate when filmmakers and screenwriters and storytellers, they use violence and murder and crime just to grab viewers' attention. A really good example of gained violence and like graphic content that is justified in film is American Psycho. There I can understand where the filmmaker is going and why she's doing what she's doing, but in Love Lies Bleeding, like Substance, I think the filmmaker really tried to use this crime graphic content just to attract attention, and it's just a very low trick because it doesn't have a lot of meaning in its own. Fourth film that also gained a lot of attention is Babygirl. Again, like Substance, great cast, Nicole Kidman, what a diva. You know, there are certain actors who have such a big personality and such a big presence that they can pull off almost every role, especially over 40 and over 50. And Nicole Kidman is not exception. She is divine. I don't know how she does so many projects. I mean, oh my God. But the same thing as with Substance in Babygirl. It's very direct, and I know that the filmmaker said that it is what happened in Babygirl. Some of the scenes are autobiographical, and I think every film, whether we put our real stories or not, is autobiographical because it is independent filmmaking, is giving your point of view. And I don't think that literally translating what happened in reality on screen always is a good decision. This, as a screenwriter myself, I often find this difficulty that something happened to you and it is so intense and you want to translate it into film, but if you literally write what happened to you, it will be just cheesy, it will be just cliche, it will be just too direct. So this is where the difficulty comes. You have to find something that is subtle, more subtle than what happened to you, but is even louder than the actual thing. You know what I mean? Once again, the master filmmakers, they show things with hiding things. You know, why pretend that it's innovative when stories like that have been told in better ways? And this is not even challenging. This is just a happy end, feel-good movie that shows the story of challenges of a mature woman. Another film is Witches, and unlike all the rest, this film is a documentary. It's on Mubi, and I love the subject. It's about postpartum depression in women, and I like how a filmmaker who is a woman who gave birth as well, she connects her personal story to other women, even women who were our ancestors, you know, who were regarded as witches, and she really makes the connection between mental health and stories of witchcraft and wizardry, and this is a very good connection. Why I think that it's a one-time watch and not a very good film is that I loved the metaphor and I loved this personal connection that she made, but at the same time, because it's a documentary, I was expecting something more scientific. I expected that more doctors or medical employees would talk about this illness. You know, it's, after all, we are talking about mental health, and when you put some type of romantic connection and you romanticize this illness, well, yes, you can do that, but give me something more, you know, give me some real evidence. What happens in our brain after postpartum? Why do we have this depression? Why do we have psychosis? You know, like when you open up this Pandora's box to women and you want to raise awareness, I am down. I'm all in. I think that a lot more films should be made about this subject, but give me something more, you know, make it more than just your story. And she started really well, but the story never developed to its full potential, so I was a bit disappointed, but I appreciate the intention. Another film is Nightbitch. Nightbitch is like Babygirl. I love the cast. I love everything Amy Adams does, but at the same time, it has the same story points as Babygirl, meaning that it is about a woman who has become a trap of her daily routine, and she lost herself after becoming a mom. Once again, I love these films. I love this subject. I love what they represent, but I don't judge these films as storylines. You know, you have to understand, I view this film as films, not even as movies. So I view them as art. If we view them as movies, all of them are great, you know, and all of them I support. But when we talk about independent, transcendental cinema that lives with us, becomes part of our underskin experience, none of them do that. So that's my point. Another mediocre, I would say mediocre, mundane film is A Real Pain. The same thing, because the criteria of my list is the same, you know. A Real Pain is I don't know, the cast is great. The cast is great in Real Pain, and the story is good, the intention is good. I mean, give all the awards to cast members, especially Kieran Culkin. I just love him. He's so great. Again, this film could have been so much more intense, so much greater than it is, if Jesse Eisenberg spent more time on dialogues. Oh, dialogues are just where he missed. Yeah, it's like a 2025 film of Woody Allen, a bit better in a way that it involves culture we don't know a lot about. I mean, Poland, and I love to see more Poland in European cinema. So anyway, a real pain, a good one-time watch. You won't regret watching it. I mean, it's a journey, but is it there where its ambition is? Probably not. Okay, another good film, good one-time watch, is The Girl with the Needle. Again, this is a good film. It's about war, and it's from Denmark. I mean, I love Scandinavian cinema. The amazing, horrible, haunting pain, irreversible damage that the war does, and it's an important film to make nowadays that we have war in the middle of Europe. It's insane that we have an ongoing war, and not only in one continent. So I think it's an important film to make now, but at the same time, as a film, I think we have so much greater films about war. Ivan's Childhood by Tarkovsky. And I think another great film about the horrifying, ongoing, haunting errors of the war and psychology of people is A Zone of Interest. Oh my God, that film bothers me still. So I think that The Girl with the Needle, good, not the best. Another so-so film is Mother's Instincts. It's a good murder crime story. That is a movie. I don't have anything against it. Great casting, good one-time watch, not transcendental. And another is Furiosa. Okay, Furiosa is actually a borderline one-time watch and bad film because it is just a lazy piece of franchise, and so many franchises that I love disappoint me now because they just want fast money. They don't spend a lot in storyline, and they just think that, oh, if we hire Anya Taylor-Joy, she would sell the film with Chris Hemsworth. No, you have to do your work. Casting won't save the film if the film story and the script and the setting is not good, you know? So Furiosa, I was like, I love Mad Max Fury Road, and compared to that, Furiosa is downgrade. Last but not least is Megalopolis. I just had to mention Megalopolis because Francis Ford Coppola, oh my God, what a man. He, in his age, I think 86 or something, he makes Megalopolis, which is so much better than so many young filmmakers' work, right? Why I think it's a so-so film is that it is once more very predictable, very dialogue heavy. It's a Roman Empire setting in New York, which I love, but I think that it could have been more, and also Coppola has a huge investment in casting, which I love, but at the same time I don't think it is bringing anything innovative to the story. I think Megalopolis should have been watched on big screen, and it is certainly more sentimental than his previous works. Maybe that's why I don't like it. I love the casting. I mean, Adam Driver, Akin, and it is just a good watch because the casting is good, and Coppola is a very talented filmmaker. We will give it to that, but it's not what we expect of him because he is just, well, maybe, you know, I don't know, still Megalopolis is the best film when it comes to independent filmmaking in this list, but I just cannot put it in the best films because of what other films I have in my best list. Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope I have articulated myself. It is so difficult to talk about films because cinematic experience is felt more than it is thought about. It is, I think, more about feelings than thinking. It's not something rational. Why I love art, it's because it's irrational and it goes deeper into our darkest and most hidden parts of the soul. The universe is so much more than our intellect can comprehend and analyze, and so many films and art, they are so understandable, and life is not understandable. So the more we understand art, the more we think that life is under our control, and this is the biggest lie, because nothing is under control. We don't control our lives, we don't control when we are born, when we will die, so many things. So I think filmmakers who don't have everything under control and speak mysteriously to us are the filmmakers who are more connected to life. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and let me know which films you liked recently.